What's up, y'all? It's me, Erica, and we are down here, honey. Let me fix this video. Slow mo coming out my blouse. So, what's up, y'all? It's me, Erica. We are down here, honey. We're down here to talk about Belle Collective and Real Housewives of Atlanta. But we are first going to go to the Starbucks, the local Starbucks, okay? Yes. Yes. I need more nudity and ecstasy. Oh, yes. Bitch. We down here, honey. It's only going to get you high. So we was down here, honey. I hope everybody had a nice weekend. We was down here arguing because Jess Hilarious got her big face on the internet and said that biological, no, she said y'all kept saying biological women, and that don't go. It's a female. You're a biological female, not a woman. A woman is a social term, and womanhood, you know how it looks to everybody looks different, right? We've had so many conversations and back and forth on the internet over the weekend, and it was a mess. I already had my conversation or my opinion. Y'all already know what my opinions are. You can all just go watch the Keke Palmer video that I made about single moms, and then the other side of that was about a trans or a cis woman being killed, being mistaken for trans. So we already talked about that. So we're here to talk about Belle Collective. I might come back because I do want to read. I do want to put the ignorance on display. I do. I really want to do. I have a real hankering in my soul to put the ignorance of Black folks on display. Yes, may I have a hot grande oat milk latte with 3 pumps of vanilla and 2 pumps of cinnamon dolce.
3 pumps of vanilla and 2 pumps of cinnamon dolce, okay?
And then can you make that, oh no, that's fine. I was going to ask you to make it extra hot, but that's fine.
Okay, you got it?
Yeah, that's it.
All right, we'll have you at the window for yourself.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Girl, it's nobody in the line. Nobody in the line. Okay, hold on. Let me get my stars together. Hey. Because I can see the light in you. How are you doing?
Good.
Good.
I like your necklace.
Thank you. Let's see what we're going to do. Oh, thank you so much. Have a good day. She was looking sad. I wonder what was going on with her. She was looking real sad. So we're down here to talk about the raggedy ass Belle Collective. Belle Collective is actually really good. It is actually it's a mess because you know why it's so good? Because we getting to learn and know these other people and all the mess that they got going on. Because we know the other girls. I think that's why other people be bored like with the storylines and stuff like that. Because the girl we know these girls. We know all the stuff they be going through. You know, we know pretty much what the girls on the other shows are gonna give because they've been on the shows for 8+ years, right? And so we're only 3 years into getting to know Glendale, Uncle Clifford, Granddaddy Clifford with his granddaddy face, Letitia. We getting to know these people. Marie Monroe. Marie is crazy. Marie's ass is crazy. And her ass, I think what she means by her ass ain't fake is that they took stuff from my body and put it in my ass. They transferred fat. So this is all me, baby. I know that's what she's doing. Because, honey, we know that you went around. You know, there's a thing with Black women and cosmetic surgery. I think because we like to feel like we're proud of how we exist without any enhancements, and we're supposed to be proud black people. And so when you get cosmetic surgery, you don't like to tell anything because it may look like you're not proud of your identity and how you look, right? I think that is the reason why specifically black women act real funny about cosmetic surgery and enhancements. You know, when they'll ask the other groups of women, and they'll be like, yeah, I got this done, this done, this done. Some will lie, but I find that black women tend to not be forthright in when they get cosmetic surgery and enhancements. And I truly believe it comes from the idea that I'm supposed to be proud of me, and any changes would indicate that I'm not, right? Get into it, honey. I was out at the pool this weekend, girl, fussing with the cis girls down to the internet and the men. Some man told me that female was a pronoun, child. I was like, girl, these niggas is off the chain. So let's talk about Belle Collector. But yeah, Marie's ass is not real. I mean, it is an enhanced ass, and it was probably a fat transfer more than likely, because she looks completely different. And then also her nose job. She hasn't mentioned anything about that. Carlos didn't even ask her about it. You know, Andy will be like, so what did you have done? Looks like you had some work done. Andy does not, it's like, it's not a big deal to ask somebody, did you have work done? Because people have access to do those things now. And it's so funny that we will literally not be forthright. Portia, Sheree, name the girls who are not forthright about their cosmetic surgery. I'm trying to tell you. Cosmetic surgery, cosmetic enhancements, whatever you've done, child. Right? It's that girl, that Beyonce. Yes, come on. Find me. I don't need to call him. You and me a vibe, yeah. Let's get the mobile studio together. We gotta let some air in here. I don't want it to be too loud because people are kind of nosy, but so I won't yell. Somebody told me in the comments the other day, that's the one thing YouTubers don't understand. As podcast, you're not supposed to yell. And I was like, girl, this is not a podcast. I know that you can see a lot of people are now doing videos along with their podcast, so they could post it to what did you call it? So they could post it to YouTube. But this is not a podcast. Typically, podcast is a usually longer form conversation, and you can't see the person, right? I think y'all, this is not a podcast. That's the one thing YouTubers don't understand, because I was passionate and I was hollering, and that person must be new, because baby, tell them how I used to really holler up in here, okay? Cliff and Letitia, they're still outside, fussing at each other, because Cliff, then he was a hater, and he called Glendale to tell him that Letitia was all up in the stripper's face, and she was giving money to the strippers, and she was like, this is crazy. And she talked about how possessive Cliff is. My wife, and he said his wife knows what line not to cross. Yeah, because your wife operates in your relationship like a daughter. It's very incestuous what they have going on. And I'm sorry, if you run around in public, Monique Hicks, she calls her man daddy in public. The women who do that, it's an incestuous thing. I feel like there's some unhealed trauma there that goes on. I understand in the bedroom, behind closed doors, get your kinks off. If you want to fuck your husband and act like you're fucking your father and call him daddy, then go for it, girl. Go for it. But in public, it's just, to me, I don't feel like it's I feel like it's socially unacceptable to call your husband daddy, and then to do it in public with so much conviction shows me that to me, it feels like there's some childhood trauma there as it relates to fathers and father figures. Latrice comes out and she was like, girl, what's going on? What's going on? Cliff tells Letitia to step up and be the woman that she needs to be for her husband. Meanwhile, last season, we were just sitting waiting for a paternity test from her husband. It's very weird how women will literally fold themselves into pretzels to fall in line and play the role as a wife and then agree to terms and conditions that literally face value does not serve you. You don't even have to peel back a layer. You can look at it as it's laid on the table that it doesn't serve you, and y'all will literally form like Voltron into a goddamn pretzel. You will jump up, Mary Lou Red, right? You will jump up and do a flip and a what do they call them? A spiral. Honey, oh shit. The top almost came off of this. I'm glad I didn't get it extra hot because we would have had to sue Starbucks. When I picked it off, the top came off of it. That's weird. Let's see how good it is. That's good. That's really good. So you need to step up and be a woman. And they should have hired. Cliff said, Cliff was enamored. He was looking at that man's penis like, wow, that shit is big. A big dick is literally like a spectacle for men and women alike, gay, straight, trans, cis, everybody wants to see a big dick. Like, damn, that shit is big. Not to be like lusting over it, but to see how big it is. Niggas alike. That man's penis was big. I was looking at it too, and I think in the last video, like Willie said, I was even going like this, like that shit was like, it was huge, right? Letitia says that Cliff and Latrice cannot stand to see people happy and to stay out of her marriage. Okay. Marie was bending over. Did you see Marie bending over to Latrice talking about, it's all here, honey. What you want to look at it? You want to look at it? Marie is a mess. It's nothing fake about this bootylicious. She's like, girl, that is store-bought. That is store-bought. She said, baby, if I come out these clothes, you'll be shocked. And she was like, baby, if I come out these clothes. So what's really going on, ladies? What's going on? This little doggy. That was funny to me. Aikisha was waiting. Aikisha and Willie are sitting down eating. That food was looking good. I was like, damn, why is she eating that food like that? It was looking good. Did y'all notice that Willie's plate only had like 2 servings of something on there? It looked like, I don't know what it was, but then later during the scene he was eating from Aikisha's plate. Nigga, you know you hungry. Your back like that, you know your ass is hungry. Talking about I'm just gonna have this, girl. So anyways, they sit down having a conversation, and she says the proposals are in. They're trying to get more buildings on the block. I feel like, she said that, when she was talking to her cousin and her sisters, later on, she was talking about how Latrice is running around telling people she kind of took the idea. I really wish that they can work together, and maybe, like the sister said, Letitia, I said Latrice, I meant Letitia, is all mouth. Maybe it's just all for show. Like the way that she acts with her relationship with Glen, it looks like it's all for show. Like it looks like that lady is not going anywhere. She just posted on, I think it was All True Tea. She just posted like a 20-year anniversary, and she was like, it sounded like she was doing a bid, honey. It sounded like she was serving time. And you got Carlos King in the comments talking about love wins with a cartwheel emoji. He knows he is exploiting those people's relationships, but they want to be on TV. They want to share their relationships. And that's the one thing. A lot of these women, you do have to give them some props, because there are women who are going through this similar experiences as these women with men like these, and they will take their L in silence. And I think that's the preferable way. But without these people willing to share their ridiculous marriage arrangements, how they show up to their relationships, for them to allow us to talk about them and to talk about, to use them as lessons. Really, you should be using these people as lessons. Yes, we watch it for entertainment and we laugh and stuff like that, but the true at the base level is to use these people as education and what they're going through, and then we come down here and we break it down and we talk about it. Because sometimes people, when you're in relationships, you don't quite see. So you need other people to kind of talk about it, and to kind of show you. Because I truly believe if Melody Holt and Martell Holt were not on a television show, Melody and Martell would be, I know y'all are going to say, no, no, no. They would be together today. I think a lot of influence for how Melody moved came from the audience and listening to the comments and people who support her and who want better for her. I feel like she listened. I feel like she listened, like, this looks crazy. If I stay with this man after he's publicly humiliated me and I'm supposed to be this boss bitch, what is that going to look like for me as a woman, for me as a brand? That's why I don't even understand how Lateshia is running around acting this way about Glendale, because you are supposed to be the women's empowerment, right? That's your force field. I'm about women's empowerment and I'm doing empowerment brunches and stuff like that. But you're in a relationship where you're completely disempowered and it doesn't match. But anyways, I really feel like Lateshia and Aikisha could have worked together, but Aikisha actually having like property down there and her family's history. Yeah, Letitia's father was a patron, right? But Aikisha's family were the owners, right? So what you want to bring back for your father, in memory of your father, is what Aikisha can actually bring to fruition. And I'm glad that they've included her on the show. I'm glad that she knew the women so that she can be on this show, so we can actually see the Farish Street project be worked on. I think it is important. I thought it was wonderful that they had that museum with the pictures and the woman, I think it's her aunt who raised her. I think she calls her mom. For her to have all those images and to give, like, so a picture of in like a museum, like to show you what we're trying to do, what we're trying to bring back. I think it's great. Excuse me, my stomach is growling. So that's what they're going to do later, have a little exhibit of Farish Street, how it used to be, and they're going to invite the women, some other people that work, in the city, and I guess for the city, and so that she can kind of let them know what they plan on bringing to Farish Street. Great idea. Aikisha is smart. She's smart. Latrice and Lateshia, they go to play tennis, go to practice tennis. It was very cute. She said that Stiff Cliff, she wants to have a conversation about Stiff Cliff, and he was, they feel like the stripper, so all the women kept saying they felt like the stripper brought them together. And you know what? Those are like, team building. Going to the strip club, team building, going somewhere where you could kind of like, all you guys kind of like act up. You could see other facets of this woman. Like, I thought it was hilarious to see Latrice acting like that about the stripper. Like, girl, he got her a motherfucking stripper, because she knows that her man would never do it, because he's an old ass, insecure, old granddaddy face ass nigga. So he would be insecure. She was like, we've never been to a party with a stripper. This was Latrice is saying. She was like, honey, Cliff was looking too. Cliff was looking. He was like, that ain't a 15, that's 16. And he even told the other, what's his name, Willie, that it should have been a private party, and the stripper should have had a smaller dick and all this other stuff. Shout out to JJ. JJ said later, if y'all want me to bring him back, he said, because when him and Sogucci was doing it that night, she wore his ass out. He was like, I might need to order a stripper again. That's the point. That's why a lot of couples, they go to strip clubs, because the fantasy, and then when they go home, they're so, hot hot between the legs. They end up, they have a good session. That, I feel like, shout out to the strippers, honey, to give the people the fantasy. Male strippers, and I don't particularly care for male strippers. I find them corny. I'd rather see women strippers. But the men, I mean, for the girls that they like big dicks and they cannot lie. You other sisters can't deny when a man walks in with a thing swinging between his legs. The girls get excited. Especially, and don't let them be dick worshiping women, girl. They really get excited. They don't know how to act. They start, what? Oh my God, look at this penis. Oh my God, oh my God. They go crazy. But Cliff was looking at it too, honey. He wanted to start some mess. And then Latrice says she's going to stand with her husband, of course, even though he's dead ass wrong. Because the truth is, if one of the women called Cliff and told him that you were putting money on the stripper, you would have said, why did you call him? You just trying to start some shit. Right? So his actions were wrong. He was just trying to start some shit. Everybody was there. Nobody was being inappropriate with the stripper. Nobody, right, honey? Because sometimes it can get real inappropriate. I've seen it. Real inappropriate. Do you hear me? So y'all was seeing what a PG-13 version of it, okay? Um, she says that Latrice has a certain lifestyle that she likes, so she has to conform. She was like, as long as you're happy, as long as people are happy, just be happy. She said Cliff got her being respectful. And she was like, our marriage is not perfect, but we love each other. And when you think about the word love, you have to understand that every single individual person on this earth has a different definition of love, and how they show it, and how they express it, and how they give it. It's different for everybody. So that's her idea of love, honey. The people were pointing out bruises on Latrice's arms, on both of her arms. Um, being that this is really good, being that we've seen Cliff grab her the way he has, those look like markings of a person being grabbed by the arms, right? You'd like to think that maybe the bruises came from, a wild night of sex, but I doubt it. So Aikisha's sitting with her cousins. She's talking about how Tambra introduced her to the group, and how Tambra is now talking behind her back. They were like, yeah, the girl with the high pitched voice. And then they had like a little montage of Tambra talking. She says, I feel like she's just a shit starter. I don't know what's going on with Tambra and Aikisha. I would really like Tambra to be forthright in that, because um, in the reunion, she was kind of fumbling around, not including Aikisha in the group text. So I'm trying to figure out what's up, right? I really wish that she would be forthright in that. She talks about Letitia saying Farish was her idea, and she was like, well, obviously she can't carry the idea out. Maybe Letitia just has a lot of mouth. I'm starting to believe that part of Letitia's personality and allure is her ability to talk, right? And even though, like, she's Miss Women's Empowerment Brunch, she's disempowered in a relationship, right? So she's a good talker. Like, she could talk the game. She could talk the game and maybe inspire some women, but her life does not mimic the shit that's coming out of her mouth. And what happens when you're not in alignment, your actions and words aren't in alignment, typically you block yourself. The universe puts there's blocks that come up because you're not in alignment. And that's just how it goes. It's true. It's just how it goes. When you're not in alignment, your words, your actions, all that shit doesn't match. Just block. You just put a bunch of blocks up. And the universe is like, what? Okay, so what's going on? I'm supposed to be giving you abundance. You're supposed to be in alignment so that you could receive all these blessings. But you sitting up here disempowered in a relationship. So when they have the art exhibit, pictorial history, just be cordial when you see the women. That's what Aikisha and her sisters basically were talking about. JJ and Willie get together to play billiards. I thought there were going to be more of them there, but it was just Willie and JJ. Willie seems to really like JJ. He says JJ has a heart of gold. He really is a cool person to, be around. So they're playing pool or whatever. He says that Glen is too old to be rapping. And he is. He's too old to be dressed the way he's dressed. Like, I'm telling you, the way that Glen presents, it's like Arrested Development. That's what it looks like. It looks like a man who is almost 40 years old trying to live the life of a 19, 20, 23-year-old. You can even tell it in the way that he dresses. You could see in the way that he casually dresses. He's, he's city trends out the game. You know what I'm saying? He's giving you very much city trends, right? He got the layered necklaces on, like he really wants to be driving around with them glasses with that look, like he got it going on, driving around Jackson because he don't have nothing else to do. Whatchamacallit said that he woke him up at work. That Cliff woke Glen up at work to tell him about the stripper. He says, I threw Sogucci a party. All the girls were getting along, and he's like, and I got a special performance. I had a special performance, and Willie was like, yeah, like a singer. Willie already knew. I'm sure Aikisha told him. He was like a singer. He was like, no, a stripper. He said, a stripper? He said, you got him a stripper? And then he was like, yeah, you missed it. But he's like, Willie, you missed everything. Everything while you was in New York, you missed everything. He said, what was Aikisha doing? And he was like, she wasn't doing, she was over there sitting on the other seat. He's like, I know the hell she was. Man, that was so funny to me. Latisha was outside arguing with Glen. He was telling them everything, right? You know how men gossip, right? Even though they've aligned the word, the action of gossip to a character trait of women, right? Women gossip. Like the barbershops don't exist, girl. The same way beauty shops exist, barbershops exist. And what's happening in the beauty shop is happening in the motherfucking barbershop. Stop playing with me, okay? Because we know. Oh, let me turn the air on. That's what I meant to do. Turn the air on. I meant to turn it off of me. Anyways, and so they were like, Cliff threw salt on Latisha, trying to say that Latisha was, over there on the stripper. He said that Cliff was enjoying the stripper more than the ladies. He says, y'all saw that on camera. He was like, y'all saw Cliff, he was enjoying it, goddamn, he was enjoying the women, goddamn, more than the ladies, goddamn it. y'all got that on camera. And then he was like, I heard he had a big dick. I heard he had a big dick. And then the producer asked Willie, did he have a big? He was like, yeah, he had a big dick. He was like, when people start going like this, doing this, like using their hands, he was like, you knew he had a big dick, honey. And then he was like, Willie, you missed all of it. You missed all of it, god darn it. You missed all of it. He said, he asked the women, when you want me to bring them back? Baby, Latrice won't be able to go because Cliff is so, and that's so crazy. You would think that an older man, like, would be secure, right? In his, like, embodiment of manhood that any other man would not make. He's so insecure, and it's not just with the stripper. He's following her. She makes a pit stop at the fucking bar. He's up there looking through the window, trying to see what you doing in there, girl. Oh, you're not coming home to daddy. When you coming home to daddy? That's a weak ass nigga, if you ask me. He might got a lot of money, generational wealth from his landscaping business, but the nigga is weak as fuck. I'm here to tell you. Latisha and Tambra go meet up at the park with Joshua and his dog. What's the dog's name? Jagger. It's the first time they've seen each other since, that blow up at the rage room. They sit down. Latisha refers to that man that was dealing with Tambra as her ex-fiance. Tambra said, that is not my ex-fiance. We dated for a couple of months. You were not engaged to him. She said, I was not. I should have followed my first mind. That's what Latisha said. Digging in the past, you should have come to me first. Yeah, that's what happens when women center men. When women give men, it's male identified to give a man the benefit of the doubt, especially in that type of relationship dynamic where the woman is going to court and stuff like that. She says, you share, but you don't share enough. We share with you, but you don't share with us. A lot of Virgos, they get that feedback from friends. Shout out to all the Virgos. We are very private people. We don't like to do a lot of things publicly. And we share it. Young Virgos, I'll say immature Virgos, you'll find them oversharing. But as you mature, you will find that what looks like oversharing, you really will not have any idea who that person is. They're not going to give you a lot. Tambra is a Virgo. Giselle is a Virgo. What do we get from Giselle? We don't get much from Giselle, right? What do we get from Beyonce Giselle, honey? We don't get much from her. Virgos are very private. And I think that comes with the way that Tambra shows up on the show, where it comes off as though she's being inauthentic because she's not sharing everything. I would never listen to another man about a woman. Men lie. I'm very guarded. I'm surprised that they entertained that nonsense. You know what I'm saying? But male identified, pick me, mammy, mountain climbers, whatever you want to call them, women who are male centered, they don't even give the woman the benefit of the doubt first. They give the man the benefit of the doubt. So they will sit there and listen to a man say these things about a woman. That's the reason why women don't read the Yelp reviews. That is the exact reason why women don't read the Yelp reviews, because they're going to give what he says the benefit of the doubt and believe everything he says about that woman until it happens to them. They have the holiday because Holly is Aikisha's last name. So they have Holiday, and they're going to have a little thing at the museum. They want to show the real Farish Street. They talk, the girls get together and they talk about how the stripper has bonded us. And you even heard Tambra said, a man has brought us together. Right. Right. Tambra says, no matter what, I show up to support. JJ sees Latrice and he says, you still in a happy mood? Yeah, because you know you over there dealing with granddaddy worm Viagra smoothie dick. You was excited to see that damn trunk. You got to run your nigga a Viagra smoothie before you hop on it. But honey, are you still in a happy mood? Marie shows up. She says she feels like there's a marginal shift in the women's, how the energy, how they're, getting along. They are attributing it to the, Sogucci's party. Here's to coexisting. They give each other, they cheers. Let me know when you want to bring them back. That's what he said to the women. Y'all let me know, because honey, it came out good for him. He said Sogucci showed out that night. Cliff is talking to Willie. He said, yeah, he brought the 15. And he was like, what would you have done? What would you have done if you was there? And then Willie said, I would have been the stripper. Shut up, Willie. Willie fucks with Cliff because he knows how ridiculous he is. I think it's funny to see him because it's almost like he's patronizing him. I don't know if Cliff has caught on to that, but Willie very much so patronizes Cliff. We see Melanie. We know that she got a breast reduction. Shout out to the Pretty Titty Committee, the Itty Bitty Titty Committee, and the Pretty Titty Committee. Okay. That was cute. We saw Mel. She's tall. Honey, she had no bra on. I said, I know that's right, bitch. I know that's a right. And Latrice was like, girl, it looks good. It looks, they look good. They look good. If they were alone, I'm sure she probably would ask her if she could touch them, child. But it was just a reduction. So everybody's looking for Letitia. She hasn't shown up yet. They talk about we get introduced to Aikisha's aunt. We were introduced to her a few episodes ago, but they're talking about Farish Street, so it was really good that they had that. Letitia finally shows up. Cliff gives her a hug, and she was like, I don't know about this. And then Latrice was like, my husband loves you, girl. And he was like, y'all don't fuck with me, y'all, because I tell it like it is. And then she was like, I don't understand where this weird energy is coming from. They were saying that you need to respect your man. Girl, the same way he respected me by sticking his raw dick in somebody's vagina and ejaculating and possibly having a child. Is that how I need to respect my man? My man, my man, my man? Aikisha was asking what happened, right? Because Cliff, started talking shit, right? And, he done had a little bit too much. He been sipping on the ripple over there in the corner. He done had a little too much ripple. And so we got to get his ass up out of here, right? Because he started talking shit and stuff. You weren't even by the stripper. Why are you in somebody's marriage, right? Marie says he's insecure and controlling. And that's the part. A lot of people, a lot of women, they see an insecure, controlling man as protection. They misinterpret it as protection, and the man is really controlling you, and he's insecure. He's not checking up on you because he cares about where you are. He's checking up on you to find out where you are, so he can know where you are, because he needs to be in control. He don't care about your safety. He just needs to know where you are and who you're with. It's just controlling. Again, but a lot of women misinterpret that behavior as, protection. Latrice is leaving. She's hugging everyone, right? Because they talking shit. And she walks up. So Gucci says, honey, it's time to take him home, right? Because he's been sipping on the ripple in the corner, honey. He done started burping and talking shit. Get your Greg. Go get him back in his lazy boy, honey. So he can go sit down in his lazy boy. Girl, anyway, so that was the end of the episode. Y'all let me know what y'all think of the episode. Take care of each other. Protect your energy. Let's get down in the comments. Peace.